The fact that the bug splatters only means that with its smaller mass and strength, it is less able to withstand the force resulting from the interaction. The glass was stronger in that event. So now, a speeding plane strikes the wall of a motionless tower. Obviously, this contact between objects is a case of Newton's third law of motion. An aluminum plane hits the steel building, and the building hits the plane. Which of the two forces is greater, the force on the plane or the force on the building? Equal. Each force is the same. There's an equal and opposite reaction. It matters not which object is moving. The fact is, there's just going to be a collision in reality. Now, the fact that the beams and belts and everything breaks apart in the building, huh? You got to be kidding me. Welcome to Islamic, Hoffman, Jones, O'Reilly, 9/11 physics. Correction. An aluminum plane must crumple, shatter, and cannot leave an air-shaped silhouette of passage in a collision with mass quantities of structural steel beams because the plane, with its lower mass, density, and strength than the building, is a bug. It splatters. The impact, even one of these engineers from UC Berkeley, hired by FEMA to do a walkthrough and all that, said the impact did nothing. He was far closer to the truth than he wanted to really convey, I'm sure. The airplane did not do much damage. What airplane? Massiveness matters in collisions, given equal strength of the objects. So mass estimation, I do a little mass estimation here, and the plane is no more than 1% of the 5 floors. So to restate, in addition to vastly superior strength, the mass of the tower allegedly hit by an aluminum tube with engines and wings would be 100 times that of the plane. Okay, what if the mass of the plane were lower? Same answer. Bye-bye, beer can. What if the plane flew faster into the tower? Kinetic energy increases as the square of speed. So what? I'm not impressed. There are more answers than this, but the impact force would be greater, but it remains equal for both plane and tower at any speed. So the tower is immensely stronger, heavier, harder than the plane. Upshot, beer can is toast. Size matters. That's a Toyota Sequoia. No, that's the Land Cruiser. That's a big SUV. Here's the top picture shows you the frontal view of a VW Vanagon, which is a form of minibus, that ran into that 18-wheeler. 3 people killed in this VW against this agricultural machinery. All debris remained in sight, by the way, in these automobile type crashes. Okay, now, as a last resort, what is a plane hugger going to do up against this? Well, they resort to the straw in a tree story. Yeah. Has this, my first question is, has this feat ever been produced in the lab? Dr. Stephen Earl Jones insists on experiments. None that I know of. Oh, much less twice within 17 minutes? Okay, well, let's go to the another government agency, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, that says, well, this oddity, an apparent exception to Newton's third law, can happen because, quote, or at least the implications of Newton's third law, intense winds can bend a tree or other objects, creating cracks in which debris, so a hay straw, becomes lodged because the tree straightens, before the tree straightens and the crack tightens shut again. So there's, I think, a satisfactory answer. Okay, couple more points, and I'm chewing on Ace's time here. Plain fact number 4, no official crash reports on the 4 incidents. What are they going to investigate? I just did the investigation, aided by Rosalie and others, dozens of us, researching the plane stories. Okay, why not use real planes is the last question. Well, George W. Bush, in a way, told us. He says to the United Nations on November 10th, 2001, let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories. concerning the attacks of September the 11th. What is he telling us? He's telling us the conspiracy was and is outrageous. It's outrageous in the obvious results, but it's also outrageous in terms of the methods, because they were going to slow the inevitable pursuers. They had years of planning, and they have control of the post 9/11 cover-up truth movement. 9/11 truth movement. Yeah. Well, the basic reason they wouldn't use planes can be described as KISS. There's too many things that could and would go wrong with real suicide planes. First of all, no planes eliminates this whole stand-down order deal. What kind of stand-down order do you need? Planes might miss the towers, crash in the wrong places, letting the wrong people see what's there. Planes might hit the towers, but they knew the physics of fragile planes crashing into steel towers. This is not the effect they're looking for, right? They're not looking for a crumpled up piece of garbage aluminum falling off. Wherever real crashes occurred, outsiders would discover faked airliners and missing hijackers. And Muslims are required for their whole scheme. Now, the PSYOP goal made special effects vastly superior to real crashes. And Killtown puts this well. This isn't his way, but it's my way, and that is, what were they up to? They had to convince a traumatized America that hijacked airliners crashed and jet fuel fires caused Trade Center destruction. And you can't do that with a bunch of mangled beer can at the base. And furthermore, you needed to distract America from the real cause that Dr. Judy Wood were so much in her debt for leading us to the truth regarding what actually destroyed the World Trade Center. Okay, ace in the hole. Whatever glitches happen along the way, you got Fox News, CNN, CBS, all ready to fake stories and convince the gullible and cover up whatever went wrong. And the perps, here's what really gets me going. The scientists, the physical scientists and engineers, with certain notable exceptions, we can always count on the lapdogs of the scientific engineering establishment bought and paid for by the U.S. government. Right? It's career suicide to talk truth about these crashes, so-called crashes. And I can remember, to close, years ago, Milton Friedman, the famous economist who died recently, he was in a debate with John Kenneth Galbraith, and he was asked a question about the National Science Foundation, and Milton Friedman says he's against it. Primarily for the reason that the government and politics controls the physical science. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we can take a question. Go ahead.
What's your source of the original live video, since most of this video has been pulled off of the web and every place else?
Right, everything you saw was from the web. By the way, most of the, virtually every crash was pre-2001, which helps validate it, right? In that there wasn't any reason at that point, at least, to lie about what planes are like.
In the 1940s, a military bomber flew in a fog by accident into the
Empire State Building.
Do you know about debris falling to the bottom in the street?
Yeah, you know, part of that fuselage and tail section is sticking out of the Empire State Building. One engine went all the way through the Empire State Building. And an engine, in principle, if it hit a floor correctly, could go all the way through a tower. Because, you know, floor to floor, it was enough space to allow an engine to pass through. Now, there was a little bit of debris. There's so many things to talk about, but it's all planted.
There seems to be just
And
enough difference that
Judy and I have proved that up in a couple of circumstances.
Okay.
Okay.